Ma'am, before I let your son borrow $92,000 against your house, I need you to tell me what you believe you're signing. Odessa looked across that bank officer and her 52-year-old son and said, Bradley told me we was updating the deed after his daddy died. The bank manager just closed the folder and sat there and looked. Bradley said, Mama, that's basically what this is. No, sir, a home equity loan is not an updated deed. That's a debt wearing church clothes. That's how the bank outside Charleston stopped what looked like a whole elder financial abuse before a widowed woman accidentally financed her son's failing business with the house she'd already paid for once. This is a dramatized story from South Carolina, and I don't want to get caught, so everything that you could possibly identify has been changed. We're calling this woman Odessa. She was 78 years old, retired from a school cafeteria, had lived at the same brick house for 46 years. The mortgage had been paid off since 2014. She balanced her checkbook in ink and did not trust automatic payments, and neither do I, because in her words, machines don't apologize. She's got a point. Her son Bradley had started a company called Carolina Outdoor Living. He built decks, screened-in porches, and occasionally one side of a pergola before the customer began asking difficult questions. And in case you're wondering, yes, I made up that company name too. Do not come for me. Bradley told Odessa the bank needed her signature to put his name on the house for estate purposes. He said he'd keep everything out of probate and make his life easier later. Let me just tell y'all something. Whenever somebody says they're making your life easier later, ask them exactly what they're making easier for themselves right now. I learned that from experience. Bradley drove her to the bank, carried in the folder, answered every question for her, kept saying, Mama gets nervous around paperwork. Odessa had worked 32 years in a school cafeteria where children paid with checks, cash, lunch tickets, and lies. Paperwork did not make her nervous. Bradley made paperwork suspicious. You know those kind of people. About this time, the bank manager, we're calling Keisha, asked Bradley to wait outside so she could speak with Miss Odessa alone. Bradley said, There's no need. I handle all Mama's financial matters. Odessa looked right in his face and said, Since when? Not confused quite, newly interested quite. Keisha asked what Miss Odessa planned to do with the $92,000 that Bradley was about to get. Miss Odessa said, Buy what? As Bradley walked out the door. He leaned back through that doorway so damn fast and said the money was for foundation repairs, medical expenses, shit like that. Odessa said, My house is on a slab and Medicare's not sent anybody to repossess my damn hip. Keisha turned the application around. It was a home equity line of credit for Odessa's home in her name, money that would just go into a joint account that Bradley had opened when he said he needed help with bills. Then Miss Keisha showed her the contractor estimate attached to the application. Wait for it. Who filed it? Carolina Outdoor Living. Remember those people? Bradley had submitted $78,000 estimates to the bank from his own company to repair his mother's perfectly fine house, which he was then going to refinance that same house to pay for it. The dumbass tried to become the borrower, the contractor, and the beneficiary without technically being any of the three. I have seen this shit on the news. Odessa looked at him and said, You invoiced me for my own property? Bradley said it was temporary. His company needed equipment until several jobs got paid. She looked at him and said, We've been over this before, then let the jobs pay you, son. He said she did not understand business finances. She said, I understand the part where my paid-off house becomes your unpaid bills, and what you are not understanding is I whooped your daddy's ass, and I whoop yours too. That's the whole sermon right there, folks, in case you missed it. Bradley started listing everything he'd done since his father died. It was a crazy list. He said he changed 2 light bulbs, drove her to the dentist appointment one time, carried out a bag of potting soil, and mowed the grass. That was it in 6 months. This man presented basic son maintenance like an itemized invoice. Miss Odessa asked whether the loan had gone through. Keisha said no, the application would be stopped and the joint account reviewed, and the bank's fraud department would document what happened. Bradley said, Mama, are you making this look worse than it is? Odessa said, I'm looking at what you brought me. She asked Keisha to remove Brad's access from every single account she legally could, print the recent statements, and help her contact her attorney. Said family should handle things privately. Of course, you know these kind of people. Odessa said, You brought me to a bank. You can handle your way back to the house. Baby, privacy left when you requested $92,000 in my damn name. Odessa called her sister to pick her up. She did not want to ride with that son of a bitch because, as she explained, I do not get back into a car with somebody who just tried to mortgage my destination. By that afternoon, the locks were changed, the tax records were moved to her sister's house, and Bradley had learned that billing and emergency contact did not make him a financial institution. He kept saying he never intended to take the damn house. Odessa said, You didn't have to take it, you was trying to make me lose it for you. Odessa had raised her son. She had not raised collateral. Any questions?